growing is by putting that effort into it to grow that business. Then you can scale, making more money with less work. That's the goal in this step. This is where, if you're in this phase, you can consider another location. Welcome to Gym Owner Freedom. I am Scott Carpenter, and I am a former broke, struggling, frustrated, and overworked gym owner that felt stuck no matter what I did to try and improve the business. Once I realized that the answer wasn't what I thought it was, just getting more clients, and after really doing the math on acquisition and churn rates, I realized I wasn't even playing a winnable game to begin with. With my current price structure, mathematically, there was no way I could afford to pay my staff so I could scale up and out of the business, that I can have the time, the money, the impact, and the freedom that I always knew I was capable of. Once I learned how to add value by selling transformational programs to people who needed more than just workouts, everything changed in my life. Today, I own 6 gyms that all run without me, and I am free to pursue my passion projects and work just because I love to, not because I have to. And if that's a goal that we mutually share together, then this is the show for you. I'm going to teach you the framework to make way more money with less clients and open up a world of possibilities to you. Subscribe, leave a review, and tune in every week. It'll change your life. I promise you that. All right, let's jump right into it. What are we talking about today? Really important one. We are going to talk about the 7th gym that I'm starting up. We're going to do a deep dive, a tactical analysis of the deal, of the model, how it's being put together, why it's being put together. Brandon, you can hear me loud and clear. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you for that. And we're going to do Q&A on this one. So questions you have on the specific model, on your model, maybe how I would change it if I were you, or this, that, whatever you need to, throw them in the comments. We will get the Q&A at the end of it and go over your unique questions. So let's dive right into this thing, guys. Why am I starting this 7th gym? Well, I've got a lot going on, and I get that a lot is like, how do you manage everything? How are you able to scale like this? Well, first of all, I'm doing this 7th gym because I want to do it, not because I need to do it or I feel like I need to make more money on it. I love building things. I love growing. I love expanding how much income that I can make, but I'm also very protective over my time. And not just how, like, hey, when things go according to, hey, if this all goes according to plan, great. But what happens if I lose a key person? And I'm not going to go in any gym and work 20, 30, 40 hours a week. I'm not even going to do 5 at this point. Okay. So the way I have to build these, I have to build them like an investor, like a shareholder. So that's how I'm designing this. And it's all about leverage, right? The systems that you create and the people will provide leverage so that you can make more money without trading for your own time. If we zoom out for a minute and we take a look at this, we're in one of these 4 steps. Any gym owners in one of these 4 steps. Either you're launching it, right? You're just launching your business, or you're growing it. And growing, step 2, when you're growing, this is where you still need to bring in more cash flow. Really, as long as your prices are amazing, your offer is amazing, right? Your sales step is amazing, which a lot of you need to back up into step 1 to iron that out. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to scale this thing. What's up, Dave? How you doing? We got to get to 2 and grow. And this is where we're just going to focus on really stabilizing and growing that cash flow. This is so important because a lot of people jump into scaling a little bit too early, and then they're just teeter back and forth between it. So growing is by putting that effort into it to grow that business. Then once you reach a certain level of cash flow, a certain level of certainty in your business where your leads are on tap, you have an amazing premium rate that you can have half the gym members that other businesses have, but do double the profit. Then you can scale, right? So scaling is getting leverage on your time. It's making more money with less work. That's the goal in this step. And you need people and systems to do this. This is where, if you're in this phase, you can consider another location. Like if you get to the end of this stage and scale, you have effectively made it so you are not an important part of your business. And that's a very powerful place to be, because then you can work on your freedom. You can build and live your ideal lifestyle. Maybe you do want to work in your gym 20 hours a week, or maybe you don't even want to go in there at all, but you've got the option to do it. This is where you can focus on creating indestructible wealth and assets and only choose to do projects that excite you. This is the stage that I'm in. After 11 torturous years in business, I've gotten to the freedom stage. And when I start the 7th gym, I want to be careful not to lose my freedom. So this whole deal is designed where I'm maximizing my upside and I'm minimizing my downside. Even if the worst thing happens, because I've created indestructible wealth and assets and I've protected myself in multiple ways, I'm not at risk in case this thing goes south. What's up, Will? So that's very important to be able to get to that kind of stage. So you're either in growing, scaling, or freedom. If you're in, launch or grow, you need to do what we're teaching in here to do the same thing in scale. If you're in freedom, you can pursue another location or at the end of scale, but don't jump the gun too early. I did and jumped to multiple locations way before I was ready and paid the price. Thankfully, I caught some amazing breaks. I had some amazing people on my team and we weathered the storm till we figured this thing out. But yeah, it gets easier over time if you built these things properly. And so the 7th gym is going to be one where I'm not working in at all. I'm not going to be doing the hiring. I'm not going to be doing any of that. I have found an owner operator. So that's the cool thing on this one. The partnership structure. Dave and I are co-owning this. Dave Best and I, you know him. He's my partner with PT Legends. We're co-owning this. We are going to own 60% of this gym. Okay. Neither one of us are going to work in it. The 40% is going to the owner operator. And that is a way that you can really kind of protect yourself. So your whole operating agreement can be built around that managing partner really running that business to protect yourself. In addition, like I know a lot of us have people that might be able to run their own gym, but it's like, well, they don't have the capital to do it. So how do you work that out? So in this case, our operating partner is going to bring in $25,000 cash for his part of it. Now, that doesn't cover his 40% when we look at everything going in there, enough working capital to not play scared and all that. So, but we want him to have more equity. Could we have designed this where it's an 80-20? Sure. But at the end of the day, I don't see how we're going to win long-term on that one because we're going to have to pay a higher salary anyways and stuff on that for him to manage it if he's getting less on the profit sharing part, right? And that actually increases our risk too. And I'm thinking long-term. I'm not thinking what is the best deal I can make today where I can get the most equity. Like think bigger than this. So I want him to have 40%. Why? Because he's going to get handsomely rewarded for his work in building this business. And in addition, it's more stability for me. And with our partner that's coming into this one, it's an amazing deal for him because 25 grand doesn't get you a whole lot by yourself, but he's able to get 40% with partners like Dave and I who do business mentoring, full time as well as having done this 6 times over. So it's a great deal for him because he's going to get 25 grand. He's going to get these amazing partners. He's going to get the fast track to massive success and own 40% of it, which is amazing. And the cool thing is we are going to move him along so much faster than we have. We're going to launch it and grow it. Okay. Everything is dialed in by 11 years in business. And how many years have we been at this? He's going to move to scale himself out of this very quickly. And we're going to launch another location with the same deal, which is great. So it's an amazing, he wouldn't be able to start one himself. And now he can walk in getting 40% with all this under his belt. And we're going to do multiple locations with him. So that's kind of how we're working on that deal. The way it's structured, even though we're giving up more equity than the actual capital that we're putting into it, in order to compensate for that, we're structuring our 60% of capital contributions as a loan that's payable over 5 years back to us and with 10% interest. Now, here's the cool thing. If after 5 years, effectively, Dave and I will have $0 into the deal, but we'll have 60% of an amazing producing asset. I stated in when I was letting you guys know about this training, the goal for this one is to get this in $200,000 in owner profit as fast as humanly possible, faster than we've ever done it before. So what's our business concept model, everything like that? Well, first of all, it's 1,800 square feet. I did a live training on this. Just let me know if you comment if you want me to send that to you. I did a live training on how I negotiated this lease. Now, I've done probably a dozen leases more with renewals, and I've learned every single time. The lease I negotiated on this thing is amazing. I have protected myself everywhere. I'm really having the landlord cover pretty much all of the entire build out on this. We're looking at them covering the HVAC. I mean, I don't know if you priced out AC units recently, but they're like 14 grand thanks to the pandemic and shortages. It's absurd. I have them covering that if it goes wrong. I've got them putting vanilla shell, contributing. I don't remember how many dollars per square foot off the top of my head to the build out. It's just an amazing deal. And it's the strength of my knowledge, but also my time in business that I'm using as leverage with this negotiating thing. There's a reason why Starbucks gets amazing leases and has everything their own way, because they are a proven operator. They will bring in other people. We threw our same leverage behind that. We've really limited the scope. Jeff Smith, what's happening, man? God, we got to catch up soon. So personal guarantee. I've really limited this. I had to do a personal guarantee since it was such a favorable lease, but we've limited to 3 years and then we're out. So it's an amazing lease. Just write in the comments if you'd like me to send you the recording of this training where I really dive into it. But let's get into this concept business model, the offers and the pricing. So we're small format. We use overlapping personal training. What is overlapping personal training? I've actually got a thing on this. Let me pull it up. So a lot of you guys will do large group. I've done large group. You'll do semi-private. I've done that. We'll do one-on-one. Well, overlapping personal training is similar to semi-private. It's almost similar to small group, but it's just slightly different. And we're able to charge more like one-on-one rates for it and charge a premium for it. Here we go. So yeah, we've got one-on-one. The con of that, as you guys know, is your capacity is 1 at those prime time hours. So what do you have to do? Well, what you have to do is now you've got to hire more trainers. And the problem is like you'll have the primetime morning and evening hours, but there's not enough business for them during the other parts of the day. And they'll be underemployed. You're likely to lose them. When they lose them, you're going to see 80% of those clients follow. It's just this boom and bust thing with one-on-one PT. Then you've got semi-private. And what people will do is lower that session rate then. $30 is kind of average, maybe up to 40 for the most part. And the great thing is your capacity increases. Let's say you're doing 4. Some people do 6. But great. Okay. So you're making a little bit more revenue. You're probably paying more payroll at that point, and you're making a bit more profit, but you got to find 4 times as many people. Well, we do overlapping personal training, and it's very similar, but you can really charge like one-on-one rates for it. And there's a specific way that we sell that in. And we teach you guys how to do this, but this is the model, right? And it's small footprint, overlapping personal training. And we sell, for those of you, you guys probably know by now, if you tuned into any of these things, we have high, mid, and low ticket offers. High ticket is your mentorship. This is people have a strong desire to change, right? Strong desire to change. And we match them up. And it's basically like, yes, it's nutrition, accountability, and mindset. Then we have people who want to get in great shape, but they're not ready to go all in on something super high ticket. And that's our nutrition and accountability offer. And then we also have people who just want to come in and get a babysitter. They just want to get workouts done. And so that is our workouts only one. Now, this is how we have changed all of my existing businesses. Some of them are underground fitness. Some of them are transform. And then they evolved into Greenlight personal training. This is the latest and greatest model. This is Dan Vicentin and Jeff Larch. They challenged me like, hey, if you were to do this all over again and create the perfect personal training model with how yours has evolved, we're talking the space, the form, the size, everything, what would that look like? Well, that's Greenlight personal training. And they're actually my partners. We actually formed a franchise company. So we teach you how to do this stuff, right? With PT Legends. Greenlight personal training is for ones who want the turnkey done for you model with shit tons of support on headquarters. And so I'm actually a partial owner in this. And so is Dave, along with Jeff and Dan. And so it is dialed. We've been developing this thing for 2 years, and it is so dialed. So like when I'm opening this up, it's a Greenlight, and I'm actually paying money as a franchisee, actually. And the reason is I'm not giving myself any discounts because like what is done on the back end is so worth it. It's not even funny. And when we talk about freedom, when we talk about getting leverage on your time, right? And not disrupting that. It's all about leverage. And you guys are familiar with Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, right? And in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a lot of us are stuck in self-employed where we might own the business, but we own a job. The thing would collapse without us, right? To move into the B side, where you're getting leverage with other people doing the work, that can be really challenging in the gym industry. It can be incredibly challenging in the gym industry. And this is where a lot of us get stuck and hamstrung. And eventually you can move into the I, where you're just leveraging your network, your expertise, and your own capital to make money. This is where your money makes money. And that's kind of where I'm moving into when we look into freedom. Now I can build and live my ideal lifestyle. I can create indestructible wealth and assets. So that's why I'm designing it like this. So this is 1,800 square feet. You really only need 1,200 on something. Like 12 to 18 is a very good sweet spot. We're targeting people 40 plus, 40s, 50s. We want your professionals, your well-to-do people. They're happy to pay the money. They're happy to keep coming. So all our marketing reflects bringing and drawing these people in. We don't go after the 20-somethings. Yeah, we're going to get them. But at the end of the day, 20-somethings are more likely to move. They're less likely to have disposable income or to keep it up for a long period of time. So we go after 40 plus. Great market. That's where we get the lifers. That'll just, I've had clients for over 11 years, right? That pay $800-900 a month. Collecting a few of those makes everything easy. So yes, our offers are based on solving problems. It's not based on selling sessions and memberships. Our offers are based on solving the problem that they have, which is they're having a hard time making themselves a priority in their lives. And sometimes it's affecting their self-esteem, their social esteem. They don't feel comfortable in their own skin. They know they need this help. They've tried and struggled for years, and they're really ready to change. That's what we do. And so our pricing strategy, we have a very premium pricing strategy on this. And we have in Greenlight in particular, we have it's separated. We have like a first gear that's a 4-week one that's like our mid ticket. And we've got our full on transformation. And then that's more expensive. So we've got our high end, we've got our mid ticket, and then we have just the training for people looking for that or people who need to move into that down the line. So that's what we're looking at in terms of that. So with our high ticket offer, it's going to be somewhere between 2,500 and 3,500, depending on kind of which one. The mid ticket, that's going to be a very short term, like a 4-week thing. We're looking like 600 to 900 on that one. And then the cool thing is with overlapping PT, we can start this with one person kind of working a split shift, like the owner operator. But obviously we're going to hire very quickly, or potentially if we've got the right fit right away. But the cool thing is because each trainer can work with 3 or 4 people at once, we don't need many employees. And here's the really cool thing about it is we can pay them less than we would one-on-one by far, lower percentage, but they will make way more money than they otherwise could. And that is really important to being able to keep and retain staff so that you can stay out of the business and you're not brought back into it. So if we go to overlapping personal training again, I'll give you a screenshot of Underground Fitness, one of my locations. So here's the overlapping PT model, right? Here's a screen grab of our mind body, and you can see this is one trainer, what he's servicing in a week. Okay. He's got 100 PT sessions on the book by himself. Normally, as you can see, sometimes he's working with one person in an hour. Sometimes it's with 2, sometimes it's with 3 or 4. Well, the cool thing is we can pay him a lot less than one-on-one, but because on average he's working with probably 2.5 or 3 people, he's making so much more money. And I've never even met him. Ron runs this gym. He's did all the hiring. I don't know anybody that works there actually anymore. So I've never met David, but I do know he's making an amazing wage while we're making 70-something% margins on it. And it's just a win-win. And if you're thinking, well, I don't know if people would want to pay one-on-one rates for something that's not true one-on-one, guys, we've done this for years. We've had entire people switch over to this model and successfully. So it's not, you don't just have to do overlapping PT. So if I take a look, let me pull up. I know I've got Shannon in here. Shannon had 11,000 square feet before we started working with her. Close to 200 clients. COVID was rough on volume, right? In the 30s for revenue. She did group and one-on-one. So since we taught her our systems and she switched to doing that, she only works with 112 clients now, but she's greater than 70 grand a month in revenue, which is insane. She keeps her group, but went to our overlapping personal training because it is better for the client. It's better for the owner. It's better for the employees. And what that has done to her profit, especially because she was able to go from 11,000 square feet down to 4,000 and from 30K a month to over 70. Do you have any idea what that does for your profit and how that changed your life for you and your family? It's absolutely insane. So you don't have to follow this exact model. Chances are you have a bigger place than this already, and that's okay, right? Chances are you have group. That's okay too. This will work. So this is in particular how I'm building this from scratch, because I just know this model is going to be way more profitable, and I can find 40 to 50 clients and we are crushing it. And that's a lot easier than finding 150 or 200 clients, which is a lot of what you guys have to do. But you don't have to switch. Like if you've got group and PT, cool. It would benefit you to do overlapping PT, but you don't need to change everything. This will work for you too, no matter what your business model is. Our marketing plan, like I said, we are targeting professionals 40 and up, 40, 50, all that kind of jam. That's who we're really going for. Yes, we're going to get people in their 20s and 30s, but this is who primarily our marketing is focused on. We have a really good grand opening strategy. We kind of have a 12-week leading up to it, everything we need to do to start building this audience and then to start making the ask. So we are doing a founding client offer. And here's the thing, it's like, don't do permanent discounts. It's usually the last thing that you want to do is do permanent discounts and devalue your rates forever. So it's kind of a no-brainer what we're doing. We have a 2-time a week and a 3-time a week option for all our programs, whether it's a high ticket, mid ticket, or low ticket. And what we're doing is we are for a founding client offer, we are giving the 3-time a week offer to at the 2-time a week price. And we're only doing that on our high ticket. Okay. Our highest ticket here is a 13-week program. Okay. So you look at that and you get it at the 2-time a week price, but you get to come in here 3 times a week. It makes it a no-brainer. It's a temporary offer. And either A, they're going to stay at the same price and just do twice a week, or B, they will upgrade to the 3 times a week moving forward. Well, upgrade and just go to the normal rates. So it's an amazing deal that really, really works well. Austin Garber just did this when he launched his gym a month or 2 ago, and it just killed it. So did really, really well on something like that. So that's that. That's what we're doing on the founding offer client. Now, paid campaign strategy, speed to lead is very important. We will be doing paid ads on this, as well as a very robust organic strategy. One thing as we get into paid, well, let me talk organic first. So a lot of you don't know what the hell to do for organic. And organic is something where you're never going to bring in a huge amount of leads. It can be a decent amount. But when you put out the right content, you're going to get like high ticket people coming to you, people that are going to spend $3,000-$4,000. Okay. Some of you have met Will. Will is our genius. He's the one who writes all of our done for you content, which is gym owners, you take and you copy and paste. If you want to change things to match up exactly you, go for it. But they're done a very specific way. And every week he gives this to all the people we work with. But here's your engagement post. Here's your client spotlight. Here's your indirect offer, right? Here's another engagement post. Here's a value post. It's done with purpose to where you're building up value for your people, but then you're also asking who would be interested. This alone has changed people's businesses like crazy. And if you don't have a good organic acquisition system, you're going to need to do that. If you want to see what we do, just write in the comments. We can reach out to you, send you a couple videos that we have on organic acquisition to help you move along this department. But I mentioned Shannon before. So she's in the bottom left. Well, here's a bigger version. She's right there in the center. Even in her first 2 weeks, she went 3 for 3 with just organic free posting. In the comments, she wrote, make that 4 for 4 with a 5th console coming up. I don't know how she ended up in this 8-week acquisition, but I do know 4 for 4, hers are all at $3,500. So that's $14,000 she brought in without spending a dime on paid ads. Okay. Hugh Green. Okay. We've had him on our podcast just recently. He went from 9K a month to his second month working with us, organic only, $0 in paid because he did not have the budget. He was in trouble. He finished that second month at $38,500 in revenue, changing his entire business overnight. So organic is massive, guys. So we are posting regularly. It's a combination of two things: posting regularly to your email list and also to you on your personal page. Okay. Facebook, Instagram. That's it. But then it's also making relationship deposits with the people that like, with the people that comment, with people that that previous clients, right? Previous clients, you're going to be sending them messages, make relationship deposits. They're also going to see your content because of this. Those two combined have a massive, massive effect on your business. So the organic content is very important. And then when it comes to the paid side, yes, we're running specific campaigns. Again, we're targeting people over 40 with these paid ads. And the main thing is having the system to be able to get to them within minutes of the lead coming in. That is super, super important. With Greenlight Personal Training, we have an internal method for that, right? For everybody, for all my other gyms, my Underground Fitnesses and all the other ones and all the other gyms we work with, we formulated gymleads.io, which is a combination of, yes, the winning ads that does this, but it's your own scheduling assistant. This makes the difference. In order for any kind of paid ads to work well and actually get a return on ad spend, it's cost per lead is actually easy today. It's actually super easy today, but speed to lead is so important. Your conversions will drop like a freaking rock if you don't get them out fast. So you need to have a plan to be able to call people within 5 minutes. That's hard because it's 7 days a week. You probably don't want to live by your phone. I don't. So we actually have a team of scheduling assistants that leads come in, they're on the phone. They'll double call, leave a voicemail, text message every day for 7 days, but they introduce them as your scheduling assistant, right? So Jeff, you're on this, right? So they'd fill out the form, right? Boom, it gets it. Your scheduling assistant would call them right away. Do a double call. Nobody answers in the first one, right? They would introduce themselves as the scheduling assistant. Like, hey, I am Jeff's scheduling assistant. The first step is to get you on Jeff's calendar for a quick 5 to 10 minute call to see if you're a good fit to work together. They would book that same day, next day with you. You can do it anywhere. You're not beholden to where you're at. Nobody has to rearrange their schedules to match up in a free hour, which is where everybody gets lost. You just dial them up, do a discovery call according to how we teach you. That is the first date. It sets up the high ticket offer. You schedule the consultation and you just crush it. This is how people are making big jumps. This, talking about Shannon again, this is how she went from like 50K with everything she was doing to 70K. She went the jumps from the 30s to the 50s, adding this on 70s. Her return on average, like on ad spend, was 9.3x. Okay. And it took us a while to dial this system too. Like it started increasing later on. You see, and you look at it in June, the numbers, it went way up. And if you average in the cost of this service, which is cheaper than you'd ever be able to hire a full-time VA and somebody to run your ads, 6.5 times ROI. Can you imagine that? A money machine where you put in $1 here and you get out $6.50 on the other side. And you're not doing the hard work. You're not making 50 to 100 cold calls a day with these leads. That's the energy suck. So in Greenlight, we have our internal version for all the gyms that we work with. And we've taken on a couple that actually don't work with us in PT Legends. Gymleads.io is what we use. And if you're interested in that, just write in the comments like Gym Leads, and we'll reach out to you if you have an interest in that. But back to the main topic. What's important to know in your marketing plan is it's not all about cost per lead. That's totally irrelevant if you can't get them in the door or you can't get them to show up, which is what everybody struggles with. You can have a $10 cost per lead. It's garbage. Corey Willis, excited to start. Your organic is getting you 2 to 3 bookings a week. That's nuts, guys. So Corey Willis regularly does $20,000 in new business a month, organically, not doing paid. And now he's starting to do gym. He's just getting on board to do Gym Leads. It's what launches it to the next thing. That's where you get leverage. That's where you can start to scale because you're doing far less of the work. And trust me, you do not want to spend your time making 50 to 100 cold calls a day to crappy Facebook leads. Let somebody else do that. Cherry pick the most interested people, book them a call with you 5 to 10 minutes. You either qualify them to come in or you don't waste your time and you disqualify them and send them elsewhere. It's very simple. Thanks, Corey. So CPL versus ROAS. I don't give a shit about CPL. It tells us how well the ad campaigns are performing, but it's all about return on ad spend. You put $1 in here, how much comes out here? That's the only thing that matters. You could get a $5 cost per lead, but if you're not getting your money back because you can't get them in, or what you're selling is too low price and the math doesn't work, you're hosed. It doesn't work. You need to get a return on ad spend. So we watch that like a hawk and tweak these campaign strategies. The organic, guys, it can build your business like crazy. Do not just take the lazy way out. Organic is actually very easy. And to scale this, that's why we do it for you. Here it is, copy paste. So that's our marketing structure. So the goal is to get this thing to 200 grand a year in profit faster than we've ever done it before. I am super excited to do it. Our owner operator, I'll introduce him to you in the near future, kicks ass. And we're not just going to do one location together. We're probably going to do 3, 4, 5 in the next few years and just kind of flesh out the Phoenix Valley here. So when we talk about expansion plans, I want to have 10 more of these. If you would have asked me 2 years ago if I wanted more locations, well, people did ask that. I said no. And it's because I didn't want to be wrapped up in the day-to-day. I'm very protective over my time. I don't want to have to go in a place and save it if I lose a key person or whatever. But my business structure, what I teach you guys, has evolved so much over the last 2-3 years that it's getting easier and easier and easier, and plugging and play it. And all the work that I put in on how to scale and leverage and put together these business deals and structures to really, really prevent the worst case scenario from happening. And if it does, I can just walk away from it. And I don't have to be at risk of jumping in for 10, 20, 30 hours a week. That's all I want. And that's there. We've arrived in here where this is just getting easier and easier and easier. All these gyms are more profitable. And the cool thing is the more gyms I have, the more protection it gives me. At first, when you do your second location, you're at risk for your capital and your time quite a bit. But then as they stabilize, you're doing the right things and you create this turnkey business where you're not involved in it. Actually, more locations gives you more flexibility in case just the worst tornado happens, right? Where you lose your top 2 people in a place. But one of the cool things too is the way this is structured. Having an owner operator as a partner really saves me and gives me a lot of stability and security. And so putting together those deals in the right way, that is really important. And I help people do that, right? When we go to that scale and freedom stages, that's where we start looking. You make sure you need to have the bandwidth. You need to have the breathing room with capital and cash flow, and you had the breathing room with time. So if you want to consider another opportunity, like another location or bolting on an online coaching business, it's where we do it, right? That's where we can look at it, but don't do it too soon, right? Make sure that you're super profitable. Make sure that you're nailing the 20% of inputs that are going to yield 90% of your results. And the other 80% of that's just mental masturbation. Like, you don't need new shirts. You don't need to spend your time doing these little knick-knacky things. Just nail the 20% that's going to get you 95% of the way there and kill it. And let the other, just don't even care about it. That's the secret. Like, just get really good at the main things that are going to make you successful and don't overcomplicate it. When you overcomplicate your model, it sucks. It sucks. Carl, what's going on? So anyways, let's get back to this. So the expansion plans. Yeah, the same deal structure, this 60-40 split. We're going to do this on the next ones. And by the way, if you are in Arizona, or hey, even if you're interested and you don't even have your gym or looking like, I'll do it with you if you're interested. Well, maybe we'll see if we're a good fit, but always interested in that. If you're a trainer in Arizona, you want your own spot, hit me up. Because we're going to put in another 10 locations in the Valley here. Okay, so I'm going to open up to Q&A. Several of you on here. Christian will be the next step. I currently have a group that I feel cool. We're going to get to your questions now. So what I want you to do right now is I can see them over here. I can see most of them. Start writing your questions in the comments. We're going to hit them right now. Before we get into that real quick, because I've been asked this, particularly after I did this in the last one, is I want you to know, no matter what stage you're in, launch, grow, scale, freedom, we teach you the model that we have, how to integrate it into your business. Now, I don't care if you're a CrossFit or a boot camp or a PT studio or whatever you are. It doesn't matter if you're large group, small group, semi, one-on-one, anything. You can integrate this exact model into your business where you're going to build out the 3 types of offers for the 3 people coming in, right? Your prices might look different than mine based on your model, but typically your high ticket mentorship is 2 to 8K. Your mid ticket, right? Your mid ticket no brainer, in case you can't get them on that, that's going to be somewhere between $599, $14.99. And then you'll have what you currently have, which is just the workouts, whether it's PT and group or whatever it is. And that could be at your current price. You maybe need to raise that too. And the fact that you're price anchoring so high with number 1 and number 2 means you can raise number 3. People won't bat an eye at it. Solving bigger problems is how you get bigger money. And when you are more profitable and you can make way more money with way fewer clients, that is how you scale the living shit out of business. Businesses that are high volume, low price right now are really, really struggling. We are talking the best and the biggest players in the business. F45s, a report just came out a couple days ago, sucking ass. Okay. There's an Orange Theory Fitness. I know an owner of Orange Theory Fitness that for the second pay period in a row, he's paid his employees 4 or 5 days late. He got fined by corporate because he couldn't upgrade his equipment. That's not good, guys. That is a really bad sign. The high volume, low price model is really suffering for a lot of people. And when you bring in these high ticket offers, everything changes. So what we do is, no matter what your business model is, in 8 weeks, we teach you how to build out your offers. We teach you how to integrate it in your model. Okay. Then we teach you how to sell it. Number 1, we got to get them in the doors in the first place. So this is our exact organic acquisition system. Take these, post these. You don't have to spend money. We'll get you 20, 30 grand in new business revenue in 8 weeks with no paid ads. If you're doing paid ads, great. We'll get you more. Okay. But here's the acquisition system. And then we'll walk you through, how do you sell that? How do you sell these services at those kind of rates and connect the dots where we're solving these greater problems for people? That's what we're on 2 to 3 times a week, helping you get the reps and learning how to do. And then we teach you how to fulfill it. If you don't have an entire program designed to fulfill this, you just take ours. Like, we built it already. We've completely built all of it out. You just take it. You don't need to spend 50 or 100 hours trying to build it and see if it'll work and scale to your employees, so you don't have to do it, right? You can just take ours. You can white label it and match it to your business, but it's the done for you route. Then the 4th step is renew. A big misconception about high ticket offers, like, okay, that's great, but how likely are they to renew? Massively freaking high. So weeks 5 and week 6 into this journey are all about the renewals. You're going to see 90% continue, even with mentorship, not just dropping into training only. So that's what we do. We teach you how to do this in 8 weeks. If you're interested, we used to do this over the course of a year. We're doing it over the 8 weeks. We are jammed full. We have a new group starting on Monday. We only take on 10 businesses at a time. So we are starting to book out for the one that's going to be about 4, 5, 6 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks from now. If you're interested in that, type call below, comment call, or just reach out to me with a DM. I would rather feel more comfortable talking to you, figuring out where your business is at, your constraints, and what's holding you back from getting to be where you ideally want to be, to make sure this would work in your business and it would be a good fit. So comment, call, or just shoot me a DM. We can hop on. We are full for this next one. You're going to have to wait a month, but we're going to start to assign those spots to people who are interested. So if that's you, shoot the DM, shoot the comment. And then, yes, I want to open up to Q&A here. So Christian, you've got the first one out there. Let's see. We got a lot of comments. I cannot see them all for some reason, but I'm going to do my best. see if I can click on it and see more. It's not really letting me. Okay, Christian, what would be the next step? I currently have group that I fill with 6-week challenges. Oh, okay, great. So 6-week challenges, they worked really well in 2016, right? Really well. What happens is what's happening with that now is, holy shit, like you're realizing this, if my new business gets shut off, I'm screwed, because it's not, they're just, the price isn't high enough. And quite often, and I don't know, are you running the kind of free thing that's not quite free? Chris, join the next cohort. Awesome. Yes. Yeah. So sorry, just lost my train of thought there. Yeah. So if it's kind of the bait and switch thing, that's really tough. That's really tough. It's kind of an energy suck and a drain on that. If you're just doing the 6-week challenge where it's all paid, it's a little bit kinder, but that's kind of like a mid-ticket offer at best, right? That's where, hey, you're coming in for the group workouts. I'm also going to give you these resources. Follow this for nutrition. But this is a churn battle, big time on these 6 weeks. So 6 weeks, people have done 6-week challenges, pick up our systems really freaking well. Like Taylor Hutchinson murdered it, right? Brendan Leong murdered it. And they were all 6-week challenge group kind of places. So that's kind of like a good mid-ticket. That's your fallback, right? But you're going to lead in with your high-ticket mentorship. This is where you're taking them by the hand and helping them change who they are, right? So very, very important. And that one you can sell for probably, and it depends, probably $2,000 for your group. Could be more though, okay? Now, you're price anchoring there. So I would start by adding in your high ticket right there, okay? And then if for some reason they just don't have the budget to do it, or they really want to get in the best shape of their lives, but it's not like a really strong burning pain or desire to change. It's not like it's really affecting them every day and the fact that they feel uncomfortable in their own skin, but they do want to get in great shape. Well, that's where your 6-week challenge will come in. Like if you do it where, hey, I really want to do this, like this is the exact program for me. This is exactly what I needed, but I just didn't know it existed. But man, $2,000 or $2,500, that's a lot of money. I'm a single mom and I'm a school teacher. I just can't do that. Well, what if you had a program that's 80% of that, like with giving you all the workouts that you need, plus a custom nutrition strategy designed around foods you like to eat, and the accountability to make sure you do it, make small modifications along the way. But that program's only $799, right? That could be your mid-ticket, your 6-week there. You're probably charging $599 for it. That's what everybody does. A lot of times you can increase that, but it becomes a no-brainer if you're price anchoring at $2,000 or $3,000. And so all of a sudden your closing percentage will go up, but you'll get a lot of the ones. You might get 40% ones and 60% twos, but your whole business changes. Imagine if the average person paid 3 times as much as that 6-week challenge. That would change everything. And then when you keep them going on the renewals, you can get them locked in for 6 to 12 months at a higher rate than you would have otherwise gotten, a lot. And all of a sudden, now you're realizing you can very quickly in a few months, you can double your ACV, your average client value. And instead of growing by doubling your business, right? You can grow. The easiest way to double your revenue is just to double the average client value. Same 100 members, but on average, because you have people doing your high ticket, mid ticket, low ticket, you can shift and increase that to where the average person, not everybody, but the average person is paying $400 a month instead of $200. That is how you change it. Let me show you again how that worked. Shannon, who we talked about earlier, okay, when she was doing in her 30s for revenue, she had 195 clients, okay, group, and she had one-on-one PT. She's doing over 70, and she's around in the 100 and teens. So she's working with like 80 less people, but over doubling her revenue. That's the secret to scalability. That's everything. Everything. That's the whole crux of how I built this entire thing. And you can do this in any model. I don't care what you are. You can be a Fit Body Bootcamp and adding your high ticket programs, right? Or you can be a one-on-one studio and do the same kind of thing. The implementation is slightly different, but we can help you with that. We help every business with that. So if this is you guys, if you want to get to the scale stage where you're not relevant in your own business, or if you want to get to the freedom stage where you've built indestructible wealth and you can choose how you want to spend your days and times, whether you just want to, I don't know, travel, or whether you want to start up your 7th location, comment call below or send me that DM and we can hop on a call. I can walk you through this in detail and figure out where you're at versus where you want to be. And if I feel like this can work in there, I will invite you in for when we take our next people through in that 8-week process. So I realize we're going on 45 minutes. So my apologies, but I'll just take that one question. But guys, I am here every Thursday, 12 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. Eastern time, every single Thursday, where I'm going to break down every single piece of this, how I built it, how I'm doing it, and everything as we change it, make it better, improve it over time, coming to you every Thursday. So put this in your calendar, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be here. You can come in, you can learn. I'm going to give you some amazing resources that we have created, and we can take your questions and answers as well. So that's all we have for today. If you have additional questions, just comment, call. We'll get you on it, and we'll go from there. And thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week on the next live. Have a great one. Let us know of any questions you have in the meantime. Take care, guys. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 a month or more this month by making more money with less clients and create a consistent flow of high-quality leads, you can learn about what it's like to work with me and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. And if you got any value out of this episode, please pay it forward and leave a review for this show. It helps other gym owners find the answers to the huge problems that we all share. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.